Hey everyone, I'm Drac, and welcome to my new YouTube channel, Drac Plays Games. So I wanted to make a short video kind of about what the channel is going to be about and what kind of content you can expect to see. And so first and foremost, this channel is going to primarily be about the Pokemon trading card game. And so what kind of content can you expect to see? So you can expect to see deck profiles, deck building discussions, things like that. You can expect to see gameplay of those decks. And you can also expect to see some box and collection and pack openings, things like that. Now, those are always fun. See what kind of cool pulls you can get. But there's a lot of YouTube channels that are about the things I just named, right? And so why should you care about Drac Plays Games? Why should you care about this channel? What makes us different is the question I want to answer. And so what makes us different is that we're going to go more in depth about the deck list the deck profiles that we show than a lot of other channels do. You know, we're going to talk about not just the cards we chose to put in the deck, but also why we chose them and what other options exist. You know, if we chose these cards, why did we not choose these cards? You know, hey, I saw this deck in this tournament and they ran this card. Why didn't you want to run this card? Why do you like this card better? And so we're going to discuss the different options of a deck. And it may not just be, hey, you know, we think this is the best. It may be, hey, we like this, but this is another option that you may like better. And so we want you to know what your options are as far as the deck lists go. And this isn't just competitive decks. It's not just tournament decks. We want to cover decks, you know, rogue decks, fun decks, decks you can play at League, on the online game. We want to cover all kinds of decks. We are going to have a primary focus on competitive decks, tiered decks, and things that we do think are good and that you might want to play in a tournament. But we also want to be able to cover some fun stuff, things that we think is really cool to play. And so we're going to go much more in depth in those deck lists than you might be used to. And so our deck profiles may be a little longer, but they're going to cover a lot of different options, things you might want to take out if you wanted to add this, and different sort of personal preferences that people have on the different decks you might see. We're also going to be doing some gameplay of those decks, obviously. And so what's different about that? Well, we're going to try to go a little more in depth on the gameplay too. Not just say, hey, I think this is the best play, but what were the other options on that play? You know, if I didn't Sycamore, why didn't I Sycamore? What was holding me back from that? What was I hoping to get out of that play? If I did Sycamore, how big of a risk was that? What am I trying to get off the Sycamore? What were my options if I didn't Sycamore? I want to talk about all those different options. I want to talk about what you could have done other than what I did and what the goal was in the plays that I make. And so a lot of channels just talk about the moves they want to make instead of talking about why they're making them or what other moves they could have made. Another difference between the gameplay difference on this channel versus going to be maybe a lot of other channels, there are other channels that do this, but we want to do actual physical card gameplay between two players in real life, recording it with a camera, and then me commentating those games, talking about the different decisions people made from both sides, and have actual physical card gameplay on the channel, as well as having stuff from the online game PTCGO. And so we will have a little bit of both. And so we will do a lot of gameplay on one deck. I may do one deck profile and then do a few videos about that deck. And so instead of just showing, hey, random games on this one deck, what I really want to do is I want to showcase matchups. And so if I'm going to do, let's say I'm going to do Night March. Everyone is hating Night March right now. But if I want to do a deck profile on Night March and then talk about its matchups, I want to get a video where I'm playing Greninja, where I'm playing Yveltal, where I'm playing the new Water Toolbox deck that's coming out. I want to play Trevenant. I want to show these different matchups and talk about the difficulties and the advantages of those matchups and what you could expect when you're playing that deck into that matchup. And so instead of just random games, I want to show actual matchups and show different things. That doesn't mean I'm only going to show games where I win, but it does mean I'm going to show games that are quality games where I get a good hand and things like that. And I don't draw like 5 energy and one basic Pokemon and then maybe like a Lysander and that's my hand or something. I want to show games that are what you can expect to get on average in that matchup. And so that's one of the things that's really important to me. I want to, go much more in-depth discussions on the choices. The other thing I'm going to do on this channel a lot is I'm going to be doing a lot of giveaways. And so a lot of those giveaways are going to be online codes for the online game. And so if you don't play PTCGO, you won't be able to take advantage of those. But I'm eventually going to do a lot of giveaways that are actually going to be real packs, real collections, things like that. And I'll be doing that as well. But I will be doing a lot of the online code giveaways, and that doesn't mean just the packs. I'm also going to be giving away some of the mythical box collections. I'm going to be giving away codes for some of the new stuff like the Blastoise EX red and blue box that came out, that kind of stuff. So we're going to be doing giveaways. We're going to be doing box openings and pack openings, as well as we're going to be doing some really in-depth look at decks and deck building and gameplay of those decks. And so that's the kind of stuff you can expect to see on the channel. And so if that interests you, I encourage you to subscribe and check out our channel. And I appreciate everyone watching the introduction video, and I hope you look forward to our content.